Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a thumbnail for your Fortnite video or just any video in general. This will work for like any gaming video thumbnail, and this will also work for just like pretty much any thumbnail that you really want to make. But before we actually start, I want to show you some of the thumbnails that I've made and some of my favorite thumbnails that I've made, like this one right here when I reviewed the Control Freak precision rings. I made this thumbnail because basically it's supposed to improve your aiming and accuracy. And over here when I reviewed the PowerA Enhanced controller, this was probably my favorite thumbnail to make. And I know no one really cares about my thumbnails because no one really asked. But if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe. We are so close to 200 subscribers. It is not even funny. But anyways, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when making a thumbnail for your Fortnite video is you're going to basically want to brainstorm an idea. Now I already have an idea of what I want my thumbnail to look like and basically what it should look like. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the creative map that I have selected, and I'm going to go ahead and find the background that I'm going to use. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is go into a creative map, or you can go into a Battle Labs, whatever you want really, just because you're going to want to go ahead and find the background that you want to use. And I already have my background set for this thumbnail, and you probably saw from earlier in the video that I had my PowerA Enhanced controller thumbnail where I was standing right here, and I did the Hot Marat emote, and I put one controller on his top hand and the other controller on his bottom hand, yada yada yada. But basically this time I'm going to be going inside the garage, and I'm going to be doing an emote right here next to this shelf, and I'm going to have text on this shelf saying free thumbnails. Just gotta flex the edits real quick. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be coming as close as I can to this shelf, looking at it like this, and then we're going to go ahead and go into my emotes here, go over to take the cake, do the emote. My idea for this thumbnail is I'm going to have on the top shelf it's going to say free, and on the bottom shelf it's going to say thumbnails. And then right here where I'm doing the take the cake emote, instead of there being a cake on the plate, it's going to be a picture of the logo of the free thumbnail editing software that I use instead. So I'm just going to do it one more time. I kind of like far away from the shelf, not as close to the shelf, just so that I have room for the text. The reason I chose take the cake is not just because of the logo thing instead of the cake. It's actually because of the face expression that he makes when doing that emote that I thought was pretty cool. It was kind of like a wow expression on his face, and I thought that would be pretty useful for it. Just gotta flex the edits again. So you may be wondering, okay, well, how do I get the actual frame if I'm just standing here? And it's pretty easy. What you're going to want to do is go over to Career, go in under Replays, and then you're going to click on your last replay, which should be your replay where you do the emote and whatever. As you can see, it says April 2nd, 2021 at 3:15 p.m. That's when I'm recording this video. I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then basically what I'm going to do is go not all the way to the end, probably like right here, because I was giving my own commentary at the end. Yeah, so right here I was giving commentary. So I got to go way back actually to right... Oh, okay. Basically what you're going to do, long story short, is just go through your creative replay until you find the frame that you want. So as you can see here, you can see the little facial expression that I was talking about, how he was kind of like surprised by the cake. That's the facial expression that I want to use for this thumbnail. So basically what I'm going to do is just adjust the camera a little bit until I find the frame that I want. I think this is a pretty good frame, but I might be able to do better. And then one thing that you're going to want to do is actually zoom it in just a little bit, because when you're in the normal like zoom that they have, it actually looks kind of like a wide angle and kind of curved at the ends. So basically I want to have it completely flat. I don't want it looking curved or anything like that, so I'm just going to adjust a little bit here. Oh yeah, and by the way that I'm getting this frame is I'm switching my camera until I find drone free. I would also recommend, if you have a controller, to use a controller to find the frame. And a lot of people actually use the controller to do the cinematics in their montages too, because you can do way smoother movement with it, and you actually won't have your cursor in the middle of the screen too. Alright, so now that you have the frame that you want, what you're going to want to do is hide your HUD, and then basically if you are using mouse and keyboard, I recommend just coming down here. There is still that little dead space where you can put your mouse cursor, which I think is really cool. So basically what you're going to want to do is go ahead and take a screenshot. Alright, so I had to stop recording there because I just overloaded my processor. But basically, once you find the frame that you want, go ahead, take a screenshot. If you're on a Microsoft PC and you have an Xbox account, what you can do is open the Xbox. Oh shoot, it opened on the wrong monitor. Hold on. You can open the Xbox HUD, and for some reason they made it where you can't like see it at all, like even if you're not recording with it, because you can actually use this to record gameplay and stuff like that. But basically you're gonna go ahead, take a screenshot of it, screenshot of the frame that you want, and yeah. Alright, now that you have the screenshot of the frame that you want, you're gonna want to go ahead and go into the description of this video and click on the first link, which will be a link to this software right here, Pixlr E or Pixlr Express by Pixlr. If you've heard of them before, you've probably heard of them through their paid software called Pixlr X, which is not really that popular of a photoshopping software. Not a lot of people use it, but yeah. The cool thing about this is that it's actually not a real software, it's a web browser software. As you can see, I'm in a Google Chrome tab right here, so in case you're like trying to save space and stuff like that, it's actually a web browser software, so you don't actually have to download anything. The next thing that you're going to want to do is go ahead and go down to Create New, and then choose the size that you want for your picture. I think this is pretty cool that Pixlr E has like a ton more than just like YouTube thumbnails and normal picture editing. As you can see right here, it has some Instagram and Facebook things, and it actually lets you create your own dimensions. So you can even create your own channel banner art on here if you wanted to. The max though is 4K by 4K, so you can't do anything too crazy like 8K or whatever, I don't even know. But basically, to make a YouTube thumbnail, what you're going to want to do is, you would think that you would actually want to use Full HD 1920 by 1080. You're going to go over to Web 720p and click 1280 by 720. The reason for this being is because YouTube doesn't actually make their thumbnails in 1920 by 1080. They put them in a 1280 by 720 frame, which I think is kind of weird. So before you actually create it, you can title it if you want to, but I usually wait till the end because when you save it, it gives you the option to name it there. Okay, so now that you just created your frame, as you can see right here, it says 1280 by 720. What you're going to want to do is come to this plus sign right here, or you can go to File and go to Open Image right here, or press Ctrl O, and you can actually open an image. So for the image that I'm going to use, I'm going to go under Videos and Captures, because that is where they actually store the screenshots that I take from the Xbox game bar. I'm going to go ahead and click the one that I want to use, and then open it up. And as you can see, it looks super zoomed in because I actually took the picture in 1920 by 1080, but I just made the frame size of what I'm actually going to be making the thumbnail 1280 by 720. And the cool thing about it is 1280 by 720 and 1920 by 1080 line up, so I can just go like this, and then boom. So I didn't explain like all of my idea for the thumbnail. So basically what I'm going to do is go down to the water droplet. This is your blur, sharpen, and smudge, which I think is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to blur this whole background except for Jonesy and the shelf. So you can like change what you want right here, like blur, sharpen, or smudge. The brush, you can change the size, you can change the softness. I'm going to put it at 0 just so then it doesn't take too long to blur it. And as you can see, I'm blurring the image. Alright, so now as you can see I have everything that I want blurred. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is add text on the shelf like I said I wanted to do. So basically what you're going to want to do is go to tools and go ahead and come down to T right here. Click on your image and it's going to say, do you want to add a new text layer? Click add and then go ahead and delete all of this. And I'm going to go ahead and put free in all capitals, and then I'm going to put free in very, very bright green, just so that it actually catches someone's eye. Put it right here. I'm going to go ahead and choose the font that I want. Now, they actually have a button right here for you to download a font or add a local font that you find on the internet. So, like, say you don't like any of the fonts in here, which I really don't, and you really want the font that Fortnite has for their game, you can download that online and go ahead and add that as a local font, and then you can make thumbnails with the Fortnite font, which I think is pretty cool. The only reason I haven't done that yet is because I just don't know all the steps. There is one font that I really want to use right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to go ahead and do this, make it a little bit smaller to about 210. I'm actually going to use like this font and then put it up a little bit, just because that font is a little transparent and kind of hard to see in such a small frame that YouTube makes it, because 1280 by 720 isn't really that small, but like YouTube puts it in a really small square, which makes it really small. Alright, and to add another text layer, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the T is highlighted. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on here. So as you can see, like, this is the mouse pointer. It's like all of the tools are dark right now except for the T. If I click on arrange or the mouse pointer, now the mouse pointer is highlighted and I can like adjust stuff here and there. So that's how you like know what tool that you're actually using. You just look over and see like which one is highlighted. So again, click T, and then I'm gonna add a new text layer. And I'm gonna put thumbnails. That's not how you spell thumbnails. And that's definitely not how you spell thumbnails. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is do that, and then put it like this. There we go. Size it down a little bit. And then I'm going to be using the same font that I used for this one, called Daddy Day, right here. Just because it makes it a little bit more bold type. Then we're going to size it up and then go like this. The reason that I'm using these like really big font and really big letters is because obviously, like, if you're looking at the thumbnail like this, you'd think, oh, I can put in like a little detail above his head and all that. I can make the text smaller. But the thing is, viewers won't see that because it's in like a little square frame, just like a little bit bigger than this right here. So like people won't see the little details that you have. So you have to make everything big and kind of minimal in a way. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save it. And actually a quick tip for you guys is when you save it, it's going to try to put it in PNG. And if you actually put it in JPG, YouTube still supports that for thumbnails. And as you can see, look at the format size right here. Size 120 kilobytes. If I were to render it in a PNG, it would be 940 kilobytes. Now, while that might not seem like a lot, there are some thumbnails that I've made that have been like way more than 6 megabytes of storage. And if you don't know, for YouTube, thumbnails can't be above 6 megabytes of storage. So using JPG will cut down so much on storage, and it'll just make it way more simpler. And as you can see right here, quality, I usually put that on 100, but as you can see, that really upped the storage. But this thumbnail is going to be like very, very minimal, so I'm not really worried about storage in this case. And then I'm going to go ahead and name it how to make a thumbnail. Now I'm going to go ahead and download it. Now keep in mind I'm not actually done yet. The reason I'm doing this is just so then I can save it, leave, we're going to go into a new tab and then search up Pixlr E logo. Then we're going to go under images and basically find their logo. So this is their logo right here, and as you can see they actually have the Pixlr X logo. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and save this image. Now we're going to go ahead and go back, and what you're going to want to do is do not go under file and open a new image, because that's going to erase everything and put a brand new image. It's going to erase everything. What you're going to want to do is go here and click add a new image. Now I'm going to go under pictures and search through my downloads and go ahead and find EBAN, which is what they're calling it. And then it's not showing right here. Don't worry, it's not a faulty image. What it is if you look over here, I have everything on top of the EBAN, so we're just going to go like this, and then as you can see, once I put it above everything, now it's above everything. So say you want to put something like behind the text, so what I'm going to do is take free and then put it above the EBAN, and now the EBAN is behind the free. So I actually think that's pretty cool, and it's a pretty nice feature. Now it looks kind of pixelated. Don't worry about that, because once you see it in the small frame, like from a viewer's perspective, it won't actually like be that pixelated, because it's going to be squeezed down into a little image. And then again, for cropping stuff, make sure you're on EBAN, crop, or if that doesn't work, you can basically just cut it. Alright, so I actually changed images that I'm going to use. So instead of using the banner, I'm actually going to be using the Pixlr E like home screen logo, like right here. I'm going to be using that instead of the banner, and I don't really want this like black outline around it, so what I'm going to do is go to cutout mask, select the image that I want, and then I'm going to go to magic mask up here at the top, and then click the black part, and it's just going to completely remove it, which I think that's pretty cool too. I'm going to go ahead and like line it up a little bit, and boom, there we go. So this is pretty much what the thumbnail is going to look like. It's nothing too special. Again, like I said, it's something basic, like a starter thumbnail to get you started. And you may be wondering why you need to be making thumbnails, is because you actually have to make your own custom thumbnails if you want to get monetized on YouTube. So it's never too late to start early and make your own thumbnails. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go under File, save it, again, JPG, and save it as the how to make, that is not how I spell make a thumbnail. Download. Wait for it to say that it's actually ready to go. Close. And that's pretty much it. So now you are done, and you can go ahead and insert this thumbnail into YouTube and use it as a thumbnail. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was useful, and if it was, please drop a like down below. While you're down there, please subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss another video by me or like this. I will be making more tutorials in the future, like how to record Fortnite videos, how to record videos on YouTube for free, 1080p, 60 frames per second, stuff like that. And please, please make sure that you subscribe, because we are so close to 200 subscribers. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.